As Democrats remain divided in Congress, it seems their supporters are flushing civility down the drain. As Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema found out, she can't even use the bathroom without being harassed by these radicals. But this lack of...
Right now?
We need solutions in the Build Back Better plan.
We knocked on doors for you to get you elected, and just how we got you elected, we can get you out of office if you don't support what you promised us.
This lack of civility is nothing new from the left. Just ask Larry Elder, who was attacked by an egg-throwing nut job while campaigning to be California's next governor. But don't worry, Joe Biden says it's all part of the process.
I don't think they're appropriate tactics, but it happens to everybody. From the only people it doesn't happen to are people who have Secret Service standing around them. It's part of the process.
Here to react, former California gubernatorial candidate and radio host Larry Elder. Larry, what do you have to say to the president's response to this situation?
Well, imagine if a gorilla mask wearing woman threw an egg at, say, Kamala Harris or Barack Obama. They'd be calling it a hate crime. There'd be an international manhunt to find her. This is a kind of lack of civility that goes on. This recall effort, polls showed, Ben, at some point that the effort might very well succeed. And then they brought in the heavy lumber. They outspent me 10-1, $200 million to $20 million. Barack Obama cut an ad for him. They asked Snoop Dogg to tweet out to his 19 million followers. This was a Republican takeover led by, quote, the black face of white supremacy, close quote. That would be me. Never mind the issues that we campaigned on, the rising crime, rising homelessness, the way he shut down small businesses to the point where a third of all of small businesses are now gone forever, many of which were run by ethnic minorities. The fact that in-school learning for the 80% of the public school students who are black and brown was denied. Before the pandemic, Ben, 75% of black boys could not read at state levels of proficiency. Math scores even worse. Half of all third graders could not. Again, math scores are even worse. I support choice in public education. Gavin Newsom, my opponent, does not. And by the way, Barack Obama, K through 12, enjoyed a personal private education, as did his daughters, but they oppose choice for black and brown parents when the polls show they want that. And then the rise of the cost of living in California. $800,000 average price of a home in California, Ben. That's 150% above the national average. It is the primary reason why the percentage of blacks and browns living in San Francisco and in L.A. over the last 20 or 30 years has declined, because they cannot afford the price of a home. And I'm the black face of white supremacy. It's nuts.
Look, it is nuts. But one aspect of this that I'd like to hear you address directly is, you know, we see this action from the left constantly. That they'll get in your face, they'll yell at you when you're out eating. They will, you know, invoke all of these different aspects of aggressive politicking and set civility aside. They never get criticized by the media for that. They can run pell-mell over any kind of expectations, in this case against a female senator just trying to go to the bathroom, and there never seems to be any backlash, never any criticism that says maybe you shouldn't do that.
Well, Ben, that one's easy. That's because the media are complicit. For example, I've never asked anybody to vote for me or against me because I'm black, let alone that I would have become the first black governor of California. But there was a long negative article about me in the New York Times, never mentioning that I'm black, let alone that if I got elected, I would have been the first black governor of California. But in the very same issue of the New York Times that same day, big, long article about, quote, the first female governor, close quote, of New York. So it was relevant that she had a D at the end of her name. She was first. I have an R at the end of my name, and I cease being black as far as the New York Times is concerned.
You know, that really does seem to be the thing about this, Larry, is it's so obvious. They don't hide it anymore. It's all right out there in the opening. All you have to do is pay attention to what they say, take them at their word, and you can see the game being played in front of you. Just 30 seconds. What can people do within their own communities to push back against this kind of rising incivility on the left?
Fight back, tell the truth about rising crime, who it affects, tell the truth about rising homelessness, who it affects. 6.5% of Californians are black. 40% of the homeless are black. And Gavin Newsom has done nothing about the homeless population except make the problem worse. Tell the truth. And sooner or later, the left is going to hit rock bottom, and they're going to have to rethink their assumptions and overturn this one-party rule we have in California and the supermajority of Democrats in the Sacramento legislature.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.